Nine has the shards and he knows exactly where each one of them fits, like the pieces of a puzzle. He takes the prism shards to the Grim to rebuild the Paradox Prism, which he uses to transform the Grim and build his own fortress. Sonic realizes that there is no chance at bringing Green Hill back. Sonic and Shadow see how Nine's doing is causing the shatter spaces to decay and causing the world to fracture. They see how the mountain is decaying, so they resort to running and jumping. Sonic and Shadow manage to escape into the void, just as the gateway to Ghost Hill explodes. While the Chaos Council flees back to New Oak City, without the shards, their energy supply is low, and they barely have enough to portal back to New Oak. Shadow and Sonic realize that if this can happen to the Ghost Hill, it can happen to the other shatter spaces. Shadow tells Sonic that Nine betrayed him and left them to die. He vows to make him pay. Shadow knows that Nine is hiding in one of the shatter spaces. Sonic surmises that Nine is in the Grim. There is another gateway and a fifth shard. That explains why he wasn't able to rebuild the prism. Sonic and Shadow go to confront Nine, though they realize that Nine's actions have also caused the Grim's gateway to begin breaking. However, Sonic and Shadow both manage to enter through a crack in the side of the gateway. Nine tells them that with the Paradox Prism, he'll be able to turn this world into his paradise. Shadow wants to destroy Nine, but Sonic refuses and tries to reason with him. Sonic reminds Nine that they're friends and they can still figure out how to bring back Green Hill and stabilize the shatter spaces together. But Nine refuses to listen to Sonic's reason, instead using the Prism energy to create Alpha Grim Sonic, a robotic version of Sonic. Sonic and Shadow manage to subdue Alpha Grim Sonic, but Nine reveals clones of the rest of Sonic's friends who battle the two hedgehogs. Sonic again tries to convince Nine. He tells him that the Grim is starting to decay. Nine reveals that once he finishes the Paradox Prism, he'll have all the power he needs to fix everything. Sonic is surprised to hear that Nine hasn't rebuilt the Prism yet. Nine states that he has, but it turns out there is some Prism energy missing. Nine insists that he needs Sonic's energy to stabilize the Prism. Knowing that Nine is after Sonic and his energy, Shadow generates a cyclone that launches Sonic into the sky and out of the Grim. Nine clones Grim Birdie to hand down Sonic's energy, while Shadow is overwhelmed by the robots and punched into a chasm in the ground. Sonic manages to escape from Alpha Grim Birdie and its minions. He's glad to be back in New York as he needs to find backup. He sees as everything is collapsing. Sonic is further pursued by Grim Birdie and attempts to evade Nine, who manipulates the shatter space to endanger civilians so he can tire himself out rescuing them. Nine reminds Sonic that he only cares about his own home. Luckily, Rebel, Renegade, and the other shatter space variants come together to fight by his side. Together, they save the civilians. Sonic is told that New York is the safest place to keep them away from the giant tears that are growing. Sonic is surprised to see the Chaos Council helping him fight the Birdies. In truth, they're not helping him but using him as they need his energy. Sonic and his allies disable the Grimians, forcing Alpha Grim Birdie to retreat. Sonic realizes that Nine's powers are on the fritz. Sonic's friends are shocked to learn that he made a deal with the Chaos Council. He explains that if he uses his energy and the Council's Shatter Drive, they can protect themselves without doing any damage to the Shatterverse. He says that he doesn't trust the Council, but he doesn't have a choice as the worlds are falling apart and the Dome is their only hope. Sonic negotiates with the Council to give New York citizens sanctuary in exchange for recharging the mothership's Shatter Drive using his Prism-kicked powers to activate its force field, protecting them from Nine's attacks. Sonic succeeds in activating the force field, but his energy is drained. Nine sees that Sonic's plan worked, and comments that not everybody is safe. The episode ends with Catfish, Sails, and Baton trapped on a sinking ship in a rapidly decaying no place. Nine is running out of time as his world will never be completely safe without Sonic's energy, He orders Grim Birdies to bring the pirates to him. Sonic realizes that his pirate friends, Baton, Sails, and Catfish, are nowhere to be seen. He then learns that they're trapped in No Place. Sonic and Black Rose decide to save them, and they go to No Place. Black Rose wants to assist Sonic as he needs a ship to bring them back in. They get there and see how the Angel's voyage is in trouble. Meanwhile, Nine orders the Grim Birds to attack the pirates. Fortunately, Sonic and Co. manage to free the pirates. Nine refuses to let Sonic escape as he needs him to finish the Grim. The Birdies resume shooting, and Black Rose's ship, the Kraken, is hit and almost crashes. Dr. Dennett helps them get out of No Place. He decided to help them because if Sonic goes down, they all go down. Back in New York, Sonic's friends keep clashing with the Chaos Council. Sonic reminds them that what they accomplished was a win for all of them. He then decides to give himself up because he realizes that Nine is the only one who can stop this. He also realizes that this is his mess, so he's gonna fix it. Sonic tells Nine that he's ready to surrender himself, but he wants some assurances first. He makes Nine promise to spare his friends and rebuild their worlds back to the way they were. Nine agrees, and Sonic meets him at the Grim. Nine promises once more to keep his friends safe. He explains that once he has his energy, he can restore everything. Sonic tells Nine that even after everything he's done, everything they've been through together against each other, he's still his friend. Before Nine can take Sonic's prism energy, the denizens come to help Sonic through a portal from the Council, who located him by his energy signal, and this makes Nine nervous. Sonic is baffled to see his friends and the Chaos Council at the Grim. He wonders how they got there. Nine explains that the Council triangulated his position and used his energy signature to breach the dome. Sonic tries to reason with his friends who are about to attack Nine. He remains adamant to give himself up, and in return they'll be spared. But Nine believes that Sonic betrayed him and tried to catch him off guard, so he decides that the deal is off. Sonic asks him to hand over the prism and join them so that they can save the Shatterverse together, but Nine refuses and deploys an army of robotic Sonics. Sonic and his friends join forces against Nine and his Gremlins. They're outgunned at first, but Menji and Sails make a bomb from a Gremlin and blow it up, apparently dying in the process. Nine believes that Menji and Sails sacrificed themselves for a minor victory on the battlefield. He orders the remaining forces to pull back and let Sonic come to him. Sonic gets his allies to cooperate and follow Rebel's lead. The Chaos Council is against that, but Sonic explains that Rebel's been leading a revolution against them for ages. Rebel explains that Nine is the key, so they need to get him off balance and unfocused. She makes a plan. The pirates will head to one side of the Citadel, and the scavengers will assault the other. They need to breach the top of the Citadel and find a way to plug that hole, stopping the energy beam and cutting Nine off from the prism, while Rebel, Renegade, and the Council keep him busy. Rebel tells Sonic to hang back and keep his focus as Nine is after him. Sonic will be scouting, coordinating, relaying messages, and bashing a few bots along the way. The team starts to win by working as a group and supporting each other, making Nine puzzled and angry. Nine gets more annoyed and summons a robot clone of Big. As Nine sends out Grim Big to crush the resistance, they're no match for his army of Gremlins. The Chaos Council gets destroyed. Sonic manages to dodge the missiles launched by Grim Big, but eventually he gets overwhelmed and falls into a deep pit. Shadow shows up and rescues him from one of the robots. He tells Sonic that Nine's alphas deployed a massive army to keep him down there. Shadow joins the battle while Sonic helps out, but Grim Big unleashes a powerful blast. Dr. Eggman's mothership takes out some of the Gremlins, but Grim Big strikes back and breaks its lasers. Sonic tells Shadow that Rebel's plan is working. The scavengers are through to the Citadel. They're gonna cut Nine off from the prism, which is in Nine's lab guarded by the Alphas. Shadow thinks that Sonic's friends will never reach it and proposes going after Nine. Sonic refuses to sacrifice his friends because Nine only wants him. The Roses and Dr. Dunnett fly around to distract Grimbig, while Mr. Dr. Eggman fixes the laser cannons. Nine sees the scavengers approaching and drains more prism energy to fend them off, making Grimbig and the other robots weaker. Nine sees as the mothership's cannons are being repaired, so he orders his troops to take out the mothership, but before Grimbig can make another move, the cannons blow it up. Sonic and his friends cheer. He then introduces them to Shadow. After the defeat of Grimbig, the team advances towards Nine's stronghold, but Nine blasts the mothership, making Mr. Dr. Eggman flee, and Dr. Dunnett's vessel crashes. Sonic notices that every time Nine diverts power, the dome shrinks, so Nine needs his energy to stabilize it. Sonic promises everyone that if they listen to him, they can win the fight against Nine. He smashes some robots along the way and decides to head straight for Nine. Sonic confronts Nine and begs him to end this together, but Nine comments that Sonic only cares about getting back to Green Hill. Sonic insists that he cares about him, the Shatterverse and everyone inside of it, but Nine says he only cares about the Prism power, as it is his ticket to protecting his new world. Nine uses more power to dominate Sonic, causing the Grim to shrink even more. As Sonic plunges from the Citadel, he discovers a new skill in his Grim shoes, making hexagonal platforms and barriers to defend himself from Nine's assaults. Nine regrets giving him the regulators when he sees his new power. Sonic notices that Nine is getting tired and urges him to give up, but Nine refuses and reminds him that he's the one who put him in that position. After gathering their forces, the Chaos Council heads to the Citadel to confront Nine. Nine is puzzled by this, since he thought he had already defeated the crew. As the Grimians run out of power, the Resistance exposes their trick. Sonic pretended to lose to surprise Nine. A flashback shows that Sonic told his team that the best strategy to beat Nine is to let him think he's won. Sonic once more pleads with Nine to join him in saving the world. Nine stresses that he didn't start the decay, the Chaos Council did. He accuses Sonic of betraying him and bringing everyone to the Grim to attack him. Nine then decides to accelerate the decay so that Sonic has no choice but to give himself up. Sonic reminds him that he's destroying his home and himself too, but Nine claims that he's protecting his home. Just then, Sonic and Co. are shocked to see Big back on the battlefield, but it turns out Sails and Menji, who escaped their supposed death, use Grimbig's leftover parts to aid the battle. They manage to take out the Grimbots that are harming their friends. As Nine becomes more violent from abusing the Prism energy, the others eliminate the Alpha bots and deactivate the Grimians, while Renegade assists Sonic against Nine. Alpha Grim Sonic interrupts Shadow before encircling Sonic and Renegade, but Shadow bounces back and annihilates it. Sonic, noticing that Nine's extreme use of the Prism's power has almost ruined the Shatterverse, stops Renegade and attempts to reason with Nine, who pushes him into the stronghold. Sonic pushes Nine down to his lab where the prism is, and the pair fights. Sonic sees the palm trees and realizes that Nine planned it for him. As they fight, Sonic tries to reason with him, saying that Nine just wanted a better life like Green Hill, but for both of them. Nine, though, is still mad at Sonic, so he keeps firing at him until the others break through the wall. Shadow tells Nine that it's over. Sonic apologizes to Nine for everything. He missed his home so much and was so focused on getting it back that he didn't listen to what Nine wanted. Sonic tells his friend that he never meant to hurt him. The Chaos Council attempts to hurt Nine, but Sonic protects him. He reminds the Chaos Council that in a few minutes there won't be anything left to fight over. Sonic also reminds Nine that everyone's worlds have been shattered and their homes destroyed. The same thing is happening to the Grim. Nine admits that he pushed the prism too far and reveals that without a great sacrifice, reality as they know it will be over. Sonic's friends are sad and start sobbing. Even the Chaos Council cry as they hug each other. Sonic chooses to sacrifice himself to allow his friends to get their worlds back. Sonic makes everyone promise to leave Nine alone and let him live peacefully in his new home in the Grim. He also makes Nine promise not to cause any more trouble in the other Shatter Spaces. Nine extracts the remaining prism energy inside of Sonic and uses it to fully reform the Paradox Prism. The prism is finally fully stable. This way, Nine and Sonic save everything. But since Nine removed the energy, Sonic starts falling apart, because he was the one who shattered the prism, so without the prism energy binding him, Sonic can't exist in the Shatter Spaces and he begins to vanish. The Chaos Council turn against Sonic and Co. and decide to take the prism. However, a fight erupts among them over who wields the power of the prism, so Nine and Co. seize the chance and send them into the void. Nine uses the prism to start the reformation process. Sonic is glad to hear that Nine can bring back Green Hill. Nine manages to bring everything back to normal. Sonic and Co. are amazed to see the gateways reforming, including No Place, the Boss Cage Maze, and they spot the Green Hill gateway in the distance. Sonic needs to leave right away and his friends help him. Sonic and Nine hug and bid farewell. Thorn Rose and Birdie give him a ride. Birdie flies, but her wing is hurt. Black Rose and Shadow are on board the Kraken. They followed them to lend them a hand. Black Rose brought Sonic far enough, so Shadow lifts Sonic, uses his speed, and manages to get him through the Green Hill gateway. Sonic returns to the moment before he shattered the prism. He is happy to see Knuckles, Rouge, Amy, and Nine. He and his friends work as a team to defeat Eggman. His friends are amazed at his new attitude when he tells them that they should stick together no matter what it takes. Shadow shows up to help, and Eggman is surprised to see him there. Shadow tells him that he's the ultimate life form, so he goes wherever he wants. Then he vanishes with the prism. Eggman realizes that he can't beat Sonic and his team, so he storms out, vowing to return. Later, Sonic brings his friends chili dogs. His friends wonder why he's been acting different. He's about to tell them about his adventures when they get attacked. Sonic tells his team that they have to go fast, and the series ends.